Hey, Cody.
Hey, Faxi.
I want to make a bet with you for Monaco.
No,
Why?
we know how the bet went last time.
No, just hear me out. Every time
Okay.
Leclerc crashes, we drink an entire bottle of vodka.
We might need to buy a case.
Go ahead, roll intro while I go get one. BRB.
See you in a few. All right. Hello and welcome back to the 107% podcast. This is our Spain Race Week episode here. After our 1 week break, I'm the Pie Menace, Cody Catos Miller. And joining me, as usual, is the Tifosi fanboy himself, Faxi, the boring Greek.
Just like how I thought Miami went, how I think Spain will go, and how I think Monaco will go, other than Leclerc binning any car he's in.
Yeah. So thank
Just
you for tuning
the
in.
only thing you have is just
Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in, whether on Spotify or on YouTube. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at the 107 Podcast on all of them. Faxi, what do we have first?
I'm busy giggling. Shut up. Oh, hey, we had a race recrap. Wow.
We had a crap race, you mean?
I was not that big of a fan of Miami, but hey, we had a race in Miami.
Did we? I don't remember any of it.
I mean,
It's been a week and a half.
It
And I
wasn't
don't
a
remember
funeral.
anything happened.
It wasn't a funeral per se. Yeah, I don't remember anything happening. Do you?
No, I honestly, I remember safety cars, a lot of people getting in trouble for swerving, and Gasly taking out Lando.
I still can't believe he got away with no penalty.
I refrain from saying anything because like there's the nature of bias and stuff like that.
Well,
But how the fuck did he not get a penalty for that?
I was
Because
waiting.
if we look at the Latifi Stroll incident, where Stroll wasn't paying attention and took out Latifi, how is that not the same situation?
I don't even see that the stewards reviewed it. I've been looking up and down the website.
There was no investigation that happened, if I remember right, during the race,
Which was very, very surprising. They investigated Ricardo for leaving the track and gaining an advantage.
Yeah.
And actually, he got a penalty point for that and a 5-second penalty.
Yeah, I Gasly should have. Realistically, if we're going off the normal trend of what stuff is, I believe Stroll got 2 penalty points, and then grid penalty because it was in quali.
Yep, he got a grid penalty. He got that.
So it should have been penalty points and time penalty for Gasly. And I like, don't remember, I love Gasly. Like, I'm a huge Gasly stan. But yeah, that was a little questionable there, and a little questionable for the stewards of not doing anything.
There's an angry man on the other end of this. On the other end of this mic. Yeah, quite a few people were running afoul. I mean, who'd I say? K-Mag came away with penalty points. Fernando.
Alonso. Did Stroll? Because I assume he always does at this point.
Damn. Stroll got 2, I believe. I'm going back to look. Also, Ricardo almost got in trouble pre-race. He got reprimanded for not following the starter or the practice start procedure. That was a big no-no. And then I know before the race even began, K-Mag, they got to extend their time before they had to cover up the car by over an hour because of a scrutineer not being available and they had to replace a part. I will give it to Formula One for not slapping their hand and actually being like, okay, we fucked up. Here's 80 extra minutes. I can't find the Stroll notes, but I think he did get points. So yeah, we had quite a few people getting in trouble over the weekend, and then we're about to go to everybody's fastest per session, Spain. Max, Charles, 1-2. It's Formula One. What do you expect? Really, I'm just watching the race for third, which Carlos edged out Sergio.
Honestly, like I'm just looking forward. I'm paying attention to like Formula 1.25, I guess, at this point of Checo, Carlos, and George.
Fair. It's really weird to see Mercedes kind of starting to fall into that Formula 1.5. Shout out to Valtteri, 7th place. Albon, more points. The red hair wins again.
Did you? Okay. Here was my thing I wanted to save for bringing up during this.
Oh, shit.
Would you have believed that Vettel and Albon have more points than Fernando?
I don't fucking believe you. I
Vettel
don't believe
has
it.
4, Albon has 3, Fernando has 2. Fernando is tied with Lance Stroll in points.
What in the absolute fuck is going on over there? And then you got Esteban's got... How does Esteban have 24 and Fernando's got 2?
Ocon finishes races. Nando doesn't.
Damn. Also, I'm side-eyeing Mick a little bit. No points.
I think he had great form in Bahrain, and then his little bit of not even a little bit, but I think his big tap in Jeddah really hurt him, and I think he just completely lost all confidence he had going into the season.
I think he needs to find his shit soon because the magnifying glass is starting to be put on him.
I mean, I feel like I'm giving him a lot of slack because he had 1 year of driving in last year's shitbox of a Haas and now going to a completely new car. Like, if we're comparing him in a sense, he has 1 year up on Guan Yu Zhou. 1 more year of experience. But they're both essentially rookies in this car. And if you compare them in retrospect to their teammates, like, Zhou has 1 point to Valtteri's 30. Mick has no points to K-Mag's 15.
And K-Mag was out for a year, and we've seen how much just being away 1 year does to you.
I mean, Albon has 3 points in a Williams, so...
I mean, good on him. He is the biggest surprise right now. I will go on record saying that. Number 2 on that is Valtteri, and number 3 is Ferrari as a whole. I did not expect Ferrari to jump up as high as they had, or have.
Yeah. I don't think anyone did.
Nobody did.
Honestly, I think my biggest surprise is how poorly Fernando's doing.
Fernando and Mercedes. If you'd have told me it was a 3-horse race, I would believe it more than you telling me at the beginning of the season, yeah, it's Ferrari and Red Bull neck and neck, and Mercedes is 2 whole good finishes out back in third.
I want to say yes, but I feel like for me, it's more of driver performance, like in comparison. I think Russell being up 23 on Lewis is more surprising to me than Mercedes being third in constructors, because I feel like with reg changes, it's everything. I think with regulation changes, it's anyone's game. Like as we have seen, for me, it's driver comparisons that are just like baffling. The Russell being up so much on Hamilton.
We're going to have a lot to digest when we get to our halfway through the season review.
I think it's going to be...
We're going to have to dissect every team.
Yeah. We'll to look at our predictions, kind of see how we're looking on things, and we're looking at compare that.
We're going to ignore our predictions. That's how bad they were.
I think it'll be good to see it. Like, what we did get right, what we got really wrong, that sort of thing.
All it's going to be is, Faxi, you didn't believe in Ferrari again. I'm sorry.
Shame.
I mean, all right, we touched on it. What do you say we pivot to news?
Let's do it. Alrighty. So my big thing that we just came out with today, actually, is there will be no replacement for the Russian GP.
I am shocked only because F1 wants all the money.
I'm surprised that they didn't try and find one more race, and I'm annoyed because I wanted Malaysia. I'm just disappointed in you, F1. I'm disappointed in you, F1. You could have gone to Malaysia. You could have done it, and you didn't. You had an opportunity and you blew it. Come on. What y'all doing?
You just won Singapore 10 times a season.
No,
I'm
23.
I'm really glad to see it. I saw a lot of the pundits that were cheering, and the main thing I was seeing was, look at all of the engineers who actually get to spend time with their families now.
What's a family?
A thing you're starting and a thing I don't have.
I have a dog. That's about it. We'll just ignore my fiance.
I was getting ready to say ignores fiance.exe.
Should do the same for me.
Damn. But no, I'm glad they're not going to hastily fill it. I know obviously Cutter's not available. I'm glad to see that they're not trying to just be like, hey, look, Turkey. Yeah, I think this is a good move.
Say it with me, Faxi. Malaysia.
Magohoma. Is that how you say it?
No, just make Malaysia a, invite all of the, teams' families out, make it that sort of thing.
I hate to say it, but that actually does sound kind of badass.
I think that'd be really cool. It's like, hey, we appreciate all the work you're putting in. Let's invite let's take care of all your families, whatever, that sort of thing.
I hate you, but I like it.
I think that'd be great.
It would.
I know you got some discussions on our possible 11th entry.
I feel like it's been a slow burn, but that slow burn just refuses to burn out. A lot of the news was coming out talking about, I can't find the article specifically, but I know a lot of different people have been reporting on it. Toto Wolff is kind of being the staunchest opposition against Andretti bringing the 11th team to Formula One. His reasoning basically comes down to money. That's a lot of the reasoning is money. Andretti, per motorsport.com, May 18th. Oh, hey, that's today as we record. They came out with this. He basically, his big thing is trying to open up the American market, is how he's trying to angle the money part. He just wants to give more Americans a shot in F1. Something that this article pretty much nods to that I think was an open secret was, had he taken over Sauber and Alfa Romeo, we would see Colton Herta in a car immediately. So as soon as Andretti is able to get a car to the grid, we will see Colton Herta and hopefully Pato in the other car.
Hope so. Or option B, as we talked about last time, Daniel Ricciardo.
Oh my god!
In an Andretti, as we may have a different driver than McLaren.
Honestly, and I'm thinking about that again as you say it, that would make the most sense for Andretti, just because Ricciardo is such an American-friendly driver.
Oh, yeah. Americans love Daniel Ricciardo.
Texas loves him. You see how much fanfare he gets at COTA? I think it was the 2019 race. He had the UT helmet. And I'm a University of Texas fan, so I was just beyond pog seeing that. Yeah, direct quote from Andretti: "We want to be an American team that wants to be developing American drivers for the future." So he's pretty much saying we're never going to be a front runner. We're always going to be bringing the new people in.
I mean, his Dale Earnhardt helmet from last year.
Oh yeah.
Gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I agree with you there. Let me see.
He is like the most American Australian, I feel like, in like the public eye.
He fits the Austin vibe because he's just loosey goosey.
I think also regarding the Andretti stuff, Zach Brown came out and criticized people for for what he perceives as a quote very selfish view.
You're looking at the GP fans article, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one I had up. Yeah, Zach Brown has become a huge supporter of it. Also, kind of going back to that motorsport.com article, Christian Horner has actually kind of started to side with Toto, which is really weird to see them on the same side, given, Abu Dhabi.
I mean, they're the big earners now.
Yeah, he said he felt that American driver would be more effective to F1's growth in the U.S. than adding an American team. And is already like, look, Andretti's already got IndyCar, Indy Lights, Formula E, Extreme E, Supercars. I'm sorry, but doesn't that show that your team has a backbone in different race series and knows how to survive?
Yeah.
Like, I should say, they're still relatively new to Supercars. I know Penske's actually had a bigger foothold in Supercars than Andretti. Obviously, Extreme E, brand new. We were just talking about that in pre-show. Formula E, still very new, but IndyCar, Indy Lights, he's not a stranger to open wheel. His dad's not a stranger to open wheel.
Yeah.
Especially here in America.
There's name recognition with it.
Oh, there's huge name recognition, and it's nice to see Zach back him.
Yeah. I think also, like, I know he definitely has, like, a biased kind of stance on things, because he has, like, McLaren has been working with Andretti's United Auto Sports for quite some time now, ever since Zach took over. So it makes sense. But I guess as we kind of bring it up in that way, there's also some McLaren news.
Oh.
Outside of the F1 paddock.
Oh.
They will be taking over the Mercedes Formula E team.
I'm still surprised. I remember hearing Mercedes was exiting, but wow.
Yeah. And they are taking control of everything, including, like, drivers, all that stuff.
So the actual Mercedes EQ Formula E team
is now will be McLaren.
So McLaren's going to get Stoffel, Nick DeVries, and Esteban Gutierrez.
So you know how we were talking about the whole Daniel Ricciardo to Andretti? Nick DeVries to replace him?
Nick DeVries actually will be premiering in a Williams during FP1 at Spain.
Uh-huh. To fill their young driver requirement.
Which, good on them.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a fucking choice. But
Fair.
And with former McLaren driver Stoffel Van Dorn.
Stoffel. I do like him.
I mean, I'm still seeing some possibilities of some stuff.
I'm looking really quick at the current Formula E standings. It looks like the Mercedes Works team is second in points. First place in points is actually a customer team of theirs with Lucas Degrassi as one of their two drivers.
Yes.
But still, that's huge for McLaren. McLaren's got a nice little foothold.
I believe Mercedes is first.
Second. I'm looking right at it on their. I'm on the wiki. 57 points, second place. After the first two races at the Diriyah, or however you say that, Grand Prix, Saudi Arabia, basically. And then the Rocket Venturi Racing team is sitting first.
No, you do not have the most updated version.
How do I not have
Mercedes
the most updated version?
Mercedes is at 176 with Rocket Venturi at
Wow, hold on.
148.
Okay, that one page was way behind. Holy shit. All apologies.
Stoffel
Is
leads with 111 points,
I see it now.
and Nick DeVries in 6th with 65.
And then Eduardo Morata, who's on that Venturi team.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see 173 to 148. Wow. So if you go to the Mercedes EQ page, they haven't updated since Saudi. So yeah,
Yeah.
I fucked that up.
As Andretti is currently in 7th.
Hey, they got a podium. I'll give it to them. That's all I'm giving them.
Give him a good bit. With former IndyCar driver Oliver Askew driving for him.
Oh, good on him. Hopefully he's able to do something.
A lot of moving around.
I need to watch Formula E.
Did you watch the Indy race?
I caught highlights. I saw it was very wet, dry.
Herta had some crazy saves. I'm not a huge Herta fan.
The fucking Tokyo drift.
Yeah.
that was all over TikTok when it happened. I'm just gonna take a second, plug my TikTok.
Sideways?
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely. It was some Formula E drive or some IndyCar Drive to Survive.
Oh, I was thoroughly impressed as a human.
We see Will Buxton to make a very intense 30-second monologue before it as Herta Tokyo drifts around the track.
Top 10 moments of Formula One drivers before they made it to the sport. Number 2 will be Herta doing the drift. Their top
Number
10,
1.
Their top 10 lists are actually pretty good.
Number 1 will be Pato Award winning every race in the season.
Number 1 will be Fernando Alonso failing to qualify for Indy. Damn. Oh, I need to put a cap on that one. What?
No, number 1 would be Castroneves winning the Indy for like the 8 millionth time.
Yeah, Castroneves is not going to Formula One.
Hey, when you win the Indy 500, like what, 75 times he's won it now? At this point, they just kind of take you. It's like some provision of his contract at this point, knowing him.
He needs to get a test drive. Speaking of, do we have a date for Grosjean in a Mercedes for the test drive?
Still nothing.
I'm actually going to look that up real quick. Grosjean Mercedes test.
Did you say Castroneves needs to get a drive in F1?
He needs to do at least one test drive. Okay, last thing I see, they're still keen on it. Yeah, he's never going to get to drive the fucking Mercedes. I feel bad for him. He's starting to wear on some of the Indy guys.
Well, that's because they're used to their bullshit.
Yeah, they're calling him too aggressive.
No.
Speaking of aggression. Awful segue.
You're talking about the aggressive cost cap?
The aggressive budget cap showdown going on. Also, motorsports.com filed this morning at 6 a.m. This is something I've been seeing a lot of different outlets reporting on. But basically, in this article, there's a lot of quotes from Binotto, who is... Yeah, Binotto hinted that Ferrari has some questions about... Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry, I was getting ready to use a quote out of context. Basically, is Red Bull being a little too aggressive early with their upgrades? Because Binotto's like starting to question how they're still under the cost cap.
I mean, it makes sense of just trying to get your upgrades in as soon as possible, as quickly as possible, so it's able to impact more and more races.
It's weird to say it, but if that's the case, I feel like Ferrari has an advantage with, coming out of the gate so hot because they can kind of sit back and see. And obviously, if they can see the waves starting to be created from about a mile away, and I think, aren't they bringing an upgrade package to Spain?
Like every team pretty much is bringing something to Spain.
Not Haas, and we'll get into that. Bonotto actually also said, I fully trust the FIA when it came to gray areas, but no doubt with the brand new regulation, as all the regulations, there's always a competitive advantage if you can try to read them in the proper ways. I think it was Engine Mode 11 who was actually pointing out some pretty decent loopholes, marketing. What else? There were a few areas that
driver contracts.
Aren't driver contracts covered under top 3 highest paid don't get hit? I think.
Yeah, it's something like that. I forget exactly what the whole metrics and what they go off of.
You saw that tweet from him, didn't you, though?
No.
Okay. No, he was poking holes. He was also, I'm going to shout him out again, he was having fun because something, I didn't put it on the news, but I'm going to mention it. Apparently there's been some online people, we know how terrible F1 Twitter gets, but apparently there's been some stink around, I think it was a recent Red Bull filming session it was Ferrari. It was Ferrari because there is apparently some fingers being pointed saying that they brought upgrades to a filming session, which is a big no-no.
Yeah, so I saw that. I actually looked. So it's not. It technically wasn't an upgrade. It was something that they had put on a car already before.
Then it's fair.
It's fair. And someone did there. It was pre-Miami.
Okay, then it's fair. Like, yeah, I got to give it to him. Yeah, I'll give it to him then. And the reason why it was getting brought up too, Mercedes had a filming session at Spain today, I think.
France. No, Paul Ricard.
Oh, was that Paul Ricard? Yep. Damn, that was supposed to be one Grosjean was going to be at.
It was driven by Georges. Yes. As this was last week, Mercedes used a second and final filming day at Paul Ricard. At the wheel, George Russell.
Okay. Plus, I mean, one thing I will say to all the Red Bull upgrades, they have a massive advantage. And it comes down to 2 words. Adrian Newey.
Oh, yeah.
He is probably the most gifted mind to ever walk into a Formula One garage. And I will say he even more gifted than Frank.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it comes to non-drivers, and I'll kind of sidetrack us a minute before we get to Ross Seek. But really quick, that's all I really had for the cost cap. The finger pointing is getting ready to really start. Ferrari's kind of looking. I know some people were trying to claim, and I can't find the sources anymore because a lot of them were tweets. So obviously, grain of salt. Some people were saying Red Bull may have used 2/3 of their allotment on R&D already this season. So it's gonna be very interesting seeing how it plays out over the rest of the year. You have anything you want to add on that?
No, I think it'll be interesting, especially second half of the season, to see how teams are looking for able to toss some extra money towards things.
Absolutely.
Guess what?
What?
It's Ross Seek.
Ross Seek. Can't wait.
As we return to the Circuit de Boring.
Really quick, I was going to sidetrack us. Who is on your Mount Rushmore of non-drivers for Formula One?
I mean, Sir Frank, first and foremost. not counting him post him driving.
Correct. Yeah, I count that as him as the founder of Williams. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you also you have to have Toto.
Okay.
I think with turning the team he did into what it is insane.
Okay.
Ross Braun.
Ooh. Okay.
And again, I'm going more modern-ish era because you can go into specifics from, I want to say early days of Formula One, so that. So I'm going to kind of keep it somewhat in, the past, 20 or so years.
Okay.
Zach Brown.
Okay.
I think turning McLaren to a team that, hey, are we going to have them in Formula One next year, to arguably one of the most marketable teams.
Picking up the pieces post Ron Dennis.
Yeah, I think he's that similar vein of Ross Braun, where he took something, or he took nothing and made it into something, and then Ross Braun sold it off and it got turned in even more. But Zach Brown has made a motorsports empire at this point.
Fair. I like it. Curious for you to hear mine. So
I'm scared.
You already know half of it. Adrian Newey, probably the greatest technical mind, and Frank Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I had all four, and then the names just fucking escaped me.
I want to have as a quick fifth, Bono.
Bono himself.
Bono. His partnership with Lewis was really good. It's really good. I think that's helped Lewis be a successful driver as he is the past handful of years. Like, he's not on it, but would be like in contention, like honorable mention sort of thing.
That's fair. That's very fair.
I tried to go with like different categories of things of what I'm going just technical, going business acumen, that sort of thing.
Okay. So I have Adrian Newey, one of the greatest technical minds. You have Sir Frank. Colin Chapman.
Ooh.
Look at what he did back in the day and all of the true innovations that he brought to Formula One, leading Lotus.
Yeah.
It's very hard to argue against that.
Yeah.
And god damn it, the last one's evading my mind again. God, I can hear his voice. What was the name of the commentator?
We're dumbasses, by the way.
I know it. Well, I had everybody's name lined up, and I should have written it down, and it walked away. No, not Brundle.
Paul Rust.
Sorry. Oh God, get out. Okay, so Sir Frank, Adrian Newey, Colin Chapman, Murray Walker.
Yeah.
Tell me that's not a great Mount Rushmore.
We kind of forgot some people though.
Okay, who would you put on your?
We kind of forgot Enzo Ferrari.
No, I picked who I picked.
Oh,
I picked who I picked.
We might die for that.
Nope.
Well, I don't know if we're allowed to step foot in Italy.
I mean, I sure as fuck now I can't, and I'm a Tifosi. Yeah. Reminder: we're on Rossiek.
It's an important Rossiek if we're not even talking about the race because we realize it's going to be a boring shithole.
God, you're awful.
No, it's true.
The only thing that's giving this somewhat of a better chance is they did the first test, not the big one there.
It's not going to matter as long as there's a chicane in Sector 3.
I hate that fucking chicane on Formula One.
You hate every track on Formula One.
Not every track. I like Bahrain and Spa. I really like Spa.
That's because they're easy for you to drive.
Spa's not that easy.
Spa's easy as fuck.
Spa, you've got to just fucking send it.
What's sad is I think I'm better
Hey,
at Spa
I like Baku.
than I am at Australia.
I like Baku, and Sector 2 on a controller's hell.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm terrible at Australia. That for some reason I just cannot. The high speed chicane.
Wait, Australia?
The high speed chicane, the curve on the outside as you go right at the start of the second DRS zone.
1 in 100 chance I spin. I usually actually hit the bollard going into the first part of the chicane.
It's exit on exit. I'm gone every time. Every time.
Get good.
So you get
scrub.
like later on in like your team where you actually have downforce.
What is downforce?
Yeah, no, I fucking lose it every time.
I just have weight. I'm an overweight F1 car. Driver to watch, team to watch. Who you got? We're not even going to cover the track because everybody knows Spain by now.
Everyone knows Spain. There's nothing of note.
Except for that tiny change they made going into the beginning of Sector 3, which I did like.
Until the track is gone, it's not. Yeah.
Honestly, I will like this race when they finally move testing to Jerez.
Well, I'm never gonna like it. I'll like the track when we no longer race on it.
Fair.
My driver to watch, George Russell.
Really?
I think he has a chance, depending on what happens. A lot of teams are interesting upgrades if they're not as successful as I think they're going to be, and that sort of thing. And Mercedes is a good weekend. I think we could possibly see a George Russell win.
Interesting. Who's your team?
My team to watch is gonna have to be the one and the only
Ferrari.
Oh,
let's go. Okay. So you're pretty much thinking 1-2.
Can they keep it out of the gravel traps in the wall?
Can Carlos keep it out of the gravel traps in the wall? Just say it right.
No, he's just the gravel traps. Leclerc's the wall.
Damn.
I think this is the closest constructors has been. Can Ferrari put their foot back on the gas pedal and make something happen?
I mean, they gotta hopefully bring some upgrades that really contend. Driver, Honey Badger. I feel like this is going to be a race where he's really able to shine. He did good here last year. Finished, let me see. He actually finished 6th ahead of Lando. Lando finished a lap down last year. Team Alpha. I feel like this will also be a really good weekend for them. Romeo.
Oh, you mean the team? You mean Kubica's team?
Bubaka, yeah.
Bubaka.
I love Bubaka. Yeah, Alfa Romeo is going to be my team to watch. I feel like this is going to be a good weekend for them. This is definitely going to help them in their own race for the constructors right now.
Does our boy Guan Yu Zhou score a point?
Guan Yu Zhou gets a point. It's going to be a double points finish. They're going to finish ahead of Alpine. That is my thought. I think
they'll probably finish ahead of half of Alpine, to be honest. without Fernando's been driving.
True. I think it's going to be a better weekend for AlphaTauri as well, but I don't have them as my top team. I will... Let's see. My dark horse this weekend. I'm kind of looking. My dark horse is definitely not Fernando.
What?
I am going to give it to... I can't give it to Honey Badger again. I am actually going to put my dark horse as Lewis.
Ooh.
Lewis podium.
I mean, can you... Is it ever really possible to have Lewis as a dark horse?
I mean, compared to how his season's been going, I have to give it to him.
Yeah.
Who's your dark horse?
Mick Schumacher scores his first points of his career.
Let's fucking go. I can get behind that. He was the first car 2 laps down last year.
Yeah. It was also Haas, which is more like a Flintstone mobile.
Fair. He still finished ahead of Yuki.
The part I'm dreading the most, podium predictions.
Did I take a bigger lead after Miami?
Oh, God, you fucking smoking me, man.
I can't believe it, and I know you can't either.
So, update. You pulled away with 5 points from Miami with a Charles second place and a point for getting Carlos and Max correctly on the podium. I got 1 point for having Carlos on the podium, and I got very wrong with having Lando getting his first win.
I mean, sometimes you gotta shoot your shot.
Yeah.
Are you gonna shoot it for Spain? What you got?
Why should you want me to give the total update for overall score, or
We skip that part? No, I want to hear how bad it is.
Coming in at 10 points, me with 22 points.
Let's go! Damn.
Maxie, you can literally take away your 2 best performing races, and you're still beating me.
Let's fucking go. And you know what? I'm ready to add to it. You know what I've got?
Let's hear it. First place.
Max.
Second place.
Get in there, Lewis.
But his tires are gone.
Shut up.
Third place.
P3. Good job, Charles.
All right.
Mind you, I do believe those are stupid picks. Considering
all of your picks are stupid picks.
You're just mad that I'm beating you. Last year did buck a trend. Usually Spain, you see constructors bunched up, starting and finishing.
Yep.
So I'm taking a bit of a gamble, especially putting Hamilton second and not George.
Alrighty. I have in first place getting the first of his upcoming back-to-back wins,
George Russell.
Charles Leclerc.
Okay. Whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
What? Oh, you're high. You are high. But continue.
Coming up in second place for a Ferrari 1-2.
Okay.
Carlos Sainz.
Okay.
And in third place, Checo.
I like it. Point of order on this as well. Sainz has never finished outside the points on his home track. And that goes across his entire career, including Toro Rosso.
Another point of order. I have already put in Charles winning Monaco next week. or next.
You fucking idiot.
It's gonna happen. So there's actually logic behind this too. Charles this year is the best qualifier of the year.
When Charles
We're on
qualifies first, he wins.
When Charles qualifies first, he wins. There was also something that to find it here. I swear I saw it. It's something to do with qualification. The percentage of winners who are in first is above 50% at Monaco and Barcelona. People who qualify pole are very likely to win.
Well, yeah, they're both funeral processions.
Yeah, exactly.
I do have a Ferrari 1-2 next week.
Is it Charles?
I
Or
have
Carlos?
I have a Ferrari 1-2 next week.
You want to lock that in, good sir?
No, I'm not gonna lock it in, but I'm not gonna lock in the who. I'm just gonna say the team. It's gonna be Ferrari 1-2, and I'll leave it there.
You want to know something?
Their yachts
I've already
actually
locked
have
it.
water.
I've locked in mine for next week.
You know what?
Sending
One of
you a
our
screenshot now.
oh Lord.
So it's proof for everyone else. We going with the God Squad.
Oh my
Next
God.
week,
He actually
next race
did it.
at
Wow, Charles Max. Is that Danny Rick?
It is Danny Rick. I'm going balls to the walls. I don't give a shit no more. I am
Never
down.
mind the fact that Carlos finished second behind Max last year in a vastly not superior car.
I don't give a fuck.
Can one of our news topics just be about Kimmy the year that he wrecked and then walked back to his car or walked back to his yacht?
To his yacht. I want to be that rich and that successful in life where I can wreck my car that's worth millions of dollars and then just go to my yacht and watch. Really, knowing Kimmy, he wasn't even watching the race. He was probably just chilling.
I fucking love it.
I want to be that successful in life, damn it.
I never will be.
And with that, that's going to wrap it up here for our Spain Race Week episode with the 107% podcast crew. I'm the Pie Menace, Cody. I just want a yacht, Catos Miller. And joining me as usual is the Fosi fanboy himself, Faxi the Boring Greek.
I am a snooze fest.
Okay, Miami.
Damn.
Thank you all for tuning in, whether on Spotify or on YouTube. And make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at the 107 Podcast on all of them. That's going to wrap it up here. Y'all have a good one.
See ya.